We are Pavana and Shilpa, happy to be sharing our birthing experience with Healthy Mothers, and this is our baby boy. It's our second baby, and it's been a beautiful journey all through, right from the beginning. And we came across Healthy Mothers and Dr. Vijaya Krishnan because I had problems with feeding the first time with my son, and he's 18 months. And that's how I came across her. My first experience, we've had two very different experiences because my first one was a C-section, and the second time I badly wanted a natural birth, and that's why I decided to come to Healthy Mothers. And what an experience it's been truly for both of us. Right from the beginning, whether it was the checkups that we came in, huge difference from what we saw the first time. We were allotted a very convenient amount of time slot each time, which made us really comfortable to clarify all our doubts, because what usually happens with mothers is they don't have information of what happens with their body and the baby, and they end up sitting on the internet all the time, getting all unnecessary negatives in their mind. But with coming to Healthy Mothers, it was so convenient to get all the information first hand from somebody who knew the right information, the positive information, So I felt like a first-time mom, although I had a baby already, because I had so many doubts uncleared the first time, because those checkups were like, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and even before I finished asking my questions, the next the next mother would be peeping through the door, so pretty much telling me it's time to go out. But here it was different. It was like a friendly environment, like two people talking to each other, and he had his own set of doubts which he got it cleared, and it was beautiful, the checkups. And what I found most useful for me in terms of my health was the amount of love, the amount of interest that was taken by Dr. Vijaya and Crystal related to my diet. Every time I came, they checked what I was eating, and they told me why it was important to eat what I was supposed to eat. So that was not mentioned to me earlier, because I was just left to eat whatever I wanted to eat or could eat, But this time there were specifics, and I was explaining why those are important, why protein was important for me, and that made me serious about my diet, which I was not the first time. And how that helped me is avoid all complications, like whether it's getting into diabetes or blood pressure or things like that. Usually what happens is nobody tells you what you have to eat in the right way, because every trimester is different. You need different calories, you need different nutrition, and why those are important are not told, and then you end up with all these complications, and in the end you're like, oh, okay, so you ended up with this, so let's cut you open. But this time it was so different for me, and I avoided all of that, and I was happy I was able to avoid all of that, because there was so much importance given. And there's another thing that we felt very comfortable with was his involvement during the checkups each time. He was here with me, and he was part of everything that was being told, everything that was necessary for me. So he kept a check on my diet. He knew exactly what I was supposed to eat, and his involvement made me much more confident and prepared me much more better for my labor. And Lama's class, we have no words to describe how we felt. It was like a different planet that we were on before and after. And I think the time and money that we spent on Lama's class was the best investment we've made till date in our life. Preparing for labor, getting into labor with good information, with good knowledge of how it might go and how it is supposed to go, and what you can expect, makes it so much easier than getting into it just like that. And that that helped us understand what interventions are and why they are so unnecessary, and what are the real reasons why somebody would get into a C-section. And it was quite disheartening for me that first time I went into a C-section for no reason at all. And that made me more confident and more willing that this time I have to have a natural birth, because these days, when I started meeting some gynecologists when I conceived the second time, having a natural birth after a C-section was almost, medically impossible, especially with the gap I have, because it was just 17 months. So I was given a list of things that would go wrong. But when I came to Healthy Mothers and Dr. Vijaya, she said, why not? I think the whole point during Lama's class that we understood was to have a healthy baby, no matter what. But it didn't mean to us. It didn't mean to us that first time the way I was made to feel is my body did something wrong. But in Lama's class, what I understood is my body is going to do perfectly fine. If something goes wrong, yes, there are things that can be done. But at least I want to try my best. So it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, Lama's class. And then my labor started the way it started the first time. My water broke, and I was cut open like half an hour after that. And I was given dozens of these scans all through my pregnancy the last time. And like Dr. Vijaya says, unnecessary scan produce unnecessary results. So my first baby was like 3.5, and that was considered big. And my baby here is 3.8, and I had a perfect natural birth. So even not having the scans that the healthy mother believes in all through is perfectly fine. And I loved it. Not knowing all the information that was not necessary for me, So during labor, my water broke, and then I started having pains. And 3 days after my water broke, I had a perfectly healthy baby. There was no dry labor. I had enough fluid, because I was advised to take good amount of vitamin C in the last 2 months. Like I said, why you eat what you eat was explained. And it was perfect. It was just perfect. Although there was pain. And the Lama's class helped us. We were at home for like 2.5 days. And he knew exactly what to do. And I loved that. The fact that he was so confident, and he exactly made me feel the way I wanted to feel during the pain, during the contractions. Just let me sail through it. His words and his actions and everything that he observed and learned in Lamas, it was beautiful. It was simply beautiful. And then when I came down here, impeccable and unbelievable service that we get here from Dr. Vijaya, Crystal, and the team here. Wonderful team. Just no words to describe the service. They were here with us all through the 10 hours, 15 hours that I was in the labor around here. They never left us. They were always there supporting us. In between, also the times when I was shouting for, getting things done, and with a lot of strong words and good confidence, I did it. And after I did it, I was like, I felt as if, I've achieved. It was my first victory in 30 years, because everyone told me it's impossible.
So, she was mentioning that second time she wanted to have a normal birth badly. In fact, the first time also she wanted to have a normal birth, quite badly. So she, exercised all 9 months, did the right things, the baby was in the right position. And, when her water broke, she was operated in next 30 minutes or 1 hour, and she had a C-section. So somewhere we knew that maybe she actually could have done, had a normal delivery, but maybe she didn't. Somebody didn't give her a chance to have a normal delivery. So second time when we wanted to, when we were actually planning, and we met a healthy mother, the Dr. Vijaya. So we were actually looking for not necessarily somebody who will only do a normal delivery, but we wanted somebody who will try their best. So somebody who will give her a chance to do the birthing on her own, because she always wanted to have a normal delivery. So when we came here, that's what we got actually. So when we asked Vijaya, can she have a normal delivery because it's only 18 months gap, she said we can always try. She never said it will be 100%, but we knew that she will try till last moment, and that's what happened. Because this time, after 4 nights, I think somewhere around 28th July morning, her water broke, and 1st August she was born. So almost like 3 nights or 4 nights of pains, and just as we expected, she never gave up. A lot of times I think she was close to giving up, but Dr. Vijay and Crystal, they never gave up. I think she did it because, of course, largely because of her determination, but she couldn't have done it if it was not for them. And I remember Dr. Vijay, I think 31st evening, 4 o'clock, we came here with, she was almost there. And she came here at midnight, Vijaya, she came around 11 or 12 in the night, and she was sitting right at her bed for 12 hours. And I don't think this is possible in the traditional setup. Last time it was 1 hour after her water broke, maybe this time it would have been 2 hours after her water broke. But I don't think any place they would have waited for 3 nights or 4 nights, maybe maximum 3 or 4 hours. And that's what we wanted. We wanted somebody to hang in there with her as she fights it. And what a beautiful feeling we had, because of course she had gone through all that pain, but just after 3 or 4 minutes after the birth, it was all gone. She had birth at 10:40 or something, and afternoon or evening she took bath on her own, absolutely. Last time, she was on the bed for 5 days, and 6 months she had all these post-surgery complications. And this time, it's 13 days after her delivery, and her mother is already gone. Because she's able to do all her things on her own, and of course she has some certain things to do, but she's good to go on her own actually. And the 4 nights, just like she was mentioning, I was there, and I was able to do the right things, tell her the right words. I learned all this in Lama's classes. It was not like a learning, it was more of learning what to expect. There were no techniques or skills, but it was more of an orientation as to what should I be ready with. And so those 3 nights or 4 nights a week, without Lama's classes, I could not have given her the support that I gave. And that is what she needed the most: my support, my care, my understanding, and my determination along with hers. And I think it was 6 days or 18 hours of Lama's classes. I think every minute has been quite useful. Especially after all these 6 classes, I was thinking, I didn't know any of it in the first time. And we are glad, because the entire those 4 days, we knew exactly what was happening. We knew why the contractions were coming. Honestly, the first time we were not really so educated about the whole process. This time we only started counting the contractions. We had a stopwatch. I said, oh no, this is early labor. This is no, we should still wait. It was fun, and I should say it really bonded us a lot, those 4 days, because we did it together. Maybe it would have been easier for us if we just opted for a C-section, go there, get yourself operated, and then the baby is out and it's done. But we wouldn't have had this experience, and that's what I think has made a lot of difference this time. And I've already recommended Healthy Mother to a lot of people, and all of them had a great experience, and we are going to do that, in future also, because like she said, the kind of we felt very comfortable here, we felt cared, we felt pampered a lot of times, and it was such a fun. Because she said, I remember last time when we went for gynec checkups, we were given some tokens. One was 10, one was 15, one was 20, and then we had to wait, sometimes half an hour, 1 hour. And like she said, even when she was inside, the next patient would come and wait right there. But here we were given appointments 1 month ahead, and then we never had to wait. And I think that's the best part, because somebody appreciates your time, somebody appreciates your interest, and I think that's truly a great differentiator from this and the traditional setup. That's it. That's what we want to share.